American psychologist Daniel Goleman in his book Primal Leadership argues that there are 6 basic leadership styles, but in work, you should not dwell on one option. He believes, the more approaches to management the boss uses, the better, after all. Each form of leadership has 2 sides, good and bad. Business Insider drew attention to the fact that in the fantasy saga Game of Thrones all the key characters also lead differently. Which model is closer to you? Affiliate style. Jon Snow. As the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch and the commander of the Stark troops, this hero demonstrated the wonders of affiliation in the Battle of the Bastards, the ability to create warm, trusting relationships with other people and unite people in conditions of imminent danger. Jon Snow's diplomatic skills allowed him to find a common language with both the Black Brothers from the Night's Watch and the Wildlings. His leadership style can be called partnering. He tries to make sure that harmony reigns in the team, and to get his team out of any stressful situations, of which there are plenty in the series, with minimal losses. Such a leader does not skimp on praise, builds morale, builds an atmosphere of mutual trust in the company, and is rewarded with sincere employee loyalty. They are happy to communicate, share inspiration and ideas. Affiliate style. Edmure Tully. Such managers rarely give advice to employees, and so they have to think out a lot themselves. When you need clear instructions on how to deal with a problem situation from a weak affiliate leader, chances are you won't get them. Moreover, absolute trust in such a leader can lead to failure. Remember how High Lord of the Trident Edmure Tully surrendered his Riverrun castle at the request of Jaime Lannister to avoid an emotionally unpleasant situation for himself. This is the main sign of a weak affiliate leader, although, on the other hand, who would resist Jaime's cruel blackmail? Mentoring style. Tyrion Lannister. This short person has the highest abilities of a mentor leader. His team is therefore cool and loyal. Varys, Missandei and the Grey Worm. The mentor easily calculates the strengths and weaknesses of subordinates and gives them tasks. Taking into account these nuances, he supports employees in setting goals and contributes to their achievement, delegates authority, and entrusts team members with exciting work that helps them grow. He is calm about the fact that the task may take longer than he expected. The mentoring style is ideal for long-term work. Despite the difficulties, Tyrion gets it right in the end. Such leaders do not worry about short-term failures. As strategists, they understand that everything will be great in the future. Employees know that the boss is always ready to support, believe, help and give constructive advice. This strengthens their sense of responsibility for their work, a desire to experiment for the good of the business, and their loyalty to the company is strengthened. Psychologist Daniel Goleman notes that this leadership style is the rarest. Mentoring style. Walder Frey. An unimportant mentor is more like a micromanager who totally controls every action of an employee than a leader. This is exactly what Lord Walder Frey is, obsessed with a sense of importance in his position in society. He does not know how to delegate authority. Instead, under the guise of a mentor, he intimidates workers, that is, an army formed from his many children. Besides, he doesn't realize that mentoring is not for large audiences. In this manner one should work individually or in small groups. In addition, the mentoring style is ineffective with employees who, for some reason, resist everything new and do not want to be helped. Visionary style. Three-Eyed Raven. A good example of a visionary leader. Such a leader motivates subordinates to fight, telling them where to go, but not telling how to get there. So, to his protégé Bran Stark, Raven gives out very vague information that will be crucial in further adventures. A visionary leader makes it clear how important everyone's work is to a common cause. He is able to clearly outline the objectives of the project, pave a new route and lead others. He defines the final goal, and the choice of the way to achieve it is left to the employees themselves. Visionary style. Tommen Baratheon. Visionary leaders are not always successful. Take Cersei's youngest son. His status is authoritative. The king. The goal is massive, to make Westeros great again, where to lead people, he represents. And he chose the means, strict adherence to the faith and the Seven, but he himself is intimidated by this religion and is at the mercy of its rituals. Tommen is a weak man and leader. He lacks the strength and experience to rule the kingdom. Few people listen to him. The power of authority will not work if employees are more experienced than the manager, professionals will not listen to their boss if they believe that he does not understand the business he has undertaken. Democratic style. Davos Seaworth, this hero, frankly, is not from a noble family, and not exactly a darling of fortune, and in general, he used to trade in smuggling, but thanks to this experience, the Onion Knight treats himself with a fair amount of irony, knows how to hear others, does not spare time for this, and works well in a team, for example, in collaboration with Sansa and Jon. Listening skills and the ability to build effective teamwork are two key traits of a democratic leader. Thanks to them, he understands what it takes to maintain employee morale. When discussing work decisions with subordinates, a Democrat leader delegates some of the responsibility to them. As a result, people work with greater dedication and can appreciate what is real and what is not. Democratic style. Robin Aaron. We have already found that democratic leaders are able to listen to others. However, this ability is not always useful. Endless meetings, discussions of the same ideas bring confusion to the ranks of workers, and, alas, this style is not suitable if it is necessary to make a decision on controversial issues in a crisis. Valley High Lord Robin Aaron, for example, listened, unfortunately for himself and the entire valley, he listened to the advice of Peter Baelish, nicknamed Littlefinger, an experienced politician, two-faced manipulator and, perhaps, the most nasty hero of the entire series. Everything worked in a way that was beneficial to Littlefinger, and Robin himself preferred to sit on the sidelines and play with the falcons, instead of actually doing something. Exemplary style. Daenerys Targaryen, the blonde beauty, is a textbook exemplary leader. It's all for big and exciting purposes. By example, he sets high standards and shows that they can be observed. Break the wheel of history. Burn people and dragons. Take the Iron Throne. Forward. Do like me. Benchmark leaders strive to accomplish tasks by following the faster, higher, stronger rule. Expect the same feedback and support from their team. They give very few instructions. They rarely lead, believing that people themselves must understand how to behave and what to do. Exemplary style. Robb Stark. Poor dreamer Robb. He was faced with daunting, interesting and challenging tasks, but at the last moment he could not focus on the goal, cope with himself, and everything collapsed. Such leaders in any endeavor give their best 100%. But they lack what is called emotional intelligence, especially in terms of self-control. They can work effectively only with a highly motivated and competent team. However, due to exorbitant demands, subordinates give up the position if it is necessary to explain. Then it is not necessary to explain leads to the following. Instead of working normally, the subordinates guess what the boss wants. They often have the feeling that their superiors do not trust them and do not want any initiatives. As a result, everyone is sad and unbearably bored. Finally, remember how the exemplary leader Robb Stark ended up exposing himself and those close to him. What a blow! Sent everyone to a mass execution, wrapped in a shiny wedding wrapper. Worst example of leadership, losing all your top managers and dying yourself. Dictatorial style. Tywin Lannister, the ruler of the Western Lands, is the richest man in the Seven Kingdoms and the rarest example of a successful dictatorial leader. He competently strengthens an already powerful position, gives out clear instructions and demands unquestioning obedience to commands, not compromise. As a result, the wealth of House Lannister, which was once on the brink of destruction, is increasing and its influence is increasing. The dictator deals with the rebels quickly and brutally. The members of the Rhine vassal house can only sympathize. Oh, they shouldn't have raised a rebellion against Lannister. He did not leave alive not only the participants in the riot, but also everyone who was related to the House of the Rains. Leaders like Tywin are cold as ice but incredibly effective in crises. For example, in the event of a company restructuring or the threat of an unfavorable takeover, or when you need to influence employees who do not respond to softer management methods. Dictatorial style. Dothraki Kull. Remember those rude Dothraki tribesmen? Here they are, living, in fact, no longer, and, unfortunately, a frequent example of the fact that emotionally short-sighted leaders, dictators, are the most dangerous type of bosses. They demanded absolute obedience from their horde and, it didn't work. Tough leadership coupled with short-sightedness rarely yields good results. The morale of the team is destroyed instantly. the manager makes extreme decisions, not taking into account the opinions of employees. And everything at least somewhat productive is destroyed, and not having time to sprout, people feel disrespected and don't offer anything new. Responsibility for the quality of work is also disappearing, employees no longer perceive it as something meaningful for them personally.